Hi ka-learners! Welcome to a new episode of Solar Learning. Are you planning to get married? If so, then this module is truly for you. If you are already married, listen to this module to find out if you have thought about marriage carefully before you said, I do. Marriage is a lifelong partnership of a man and a woman. When we talk of lifelong partnerships, we need to consider many things. Most people say it's not easy, and you probably have realized this just by looking at your parents. Parents have many responsibilities like paying bills, sending children to school, and working to feed the family. Before you decide to get married, you should consider and think about many things. You cannot just decide to get married and go on with it. In today's lesson, we will give you some insights that can enlighten you. For today's topic, we will discuss the considerations you have to make and the details you have to pay attention to. If you are planning to get married, you should weigh these considerations and think about your options. After this lesson, you should be able to: number 1, explain marriage and the rules and laws that governs it. And number 2, identify the basic requirements for those who want to get married. Marriage can be defined in many ways. Here are some descriptions of marriage given by couples of different ages and backgrounds. Being joined together forever with my soulmate. A life full of happiness, love, and sharing. The sharing of good times and bad moments. The importance of family as a unit. A lifelong union, sharing, loving, and supporting each other. Marriage is defined as a legitimate union between husband and wife. When we say legitimate, we mean that this marriage is approved and allowed by some kind of law, religious law or civil law. Religious law refers to the rules of one's religion. Civil law refers to the laws in our country. A religious marriage is solemnized by a priest, pastor, rabbi, minister, imam, or other religious authorities. This marriage is allowed and approved by the rules of one's religion. A civil marriage is solemnized by a judge or mayor and is allowed and approved by civil laws. A tribal marriage is solemnized by the tribal leader or leaders and is allowed and approved by the rules of the tribe. Note that the three kinds of marriages are all recognized by Philippine laws. However, some religions, for example, the Catholic Church, does not recognize civil marriage and tribal marriages. The Catholic Church considers itself as a divine institution, one that is from God, which cannot be under any human institution. For any individual to be legally married under Philippine laws, the following are necessary. In the Philippines and in many other countries as well, marriages between individuals of the same sex are not allowed. Number 1, the couple should be a male and a female. Number 2, the couple should be 18 years old or above. Number 3, if the person to be married is between 18 to 21 years old, he or she will need his or her parents' consent. Number 4, the couple should appear before a solemnizing officer who can be a priest, pastor, judge, or mayor. Number 5, the couple should make a personal declaration to take each other as man and wife. Number 6, there should be at least 2 witnesses of legal age. There are times when things do not work out for a couple. Most of the time, their problems can be resolved with patience and love. But sometimes, the problem may be very big and serious. It can reach a point when the best thing for them to do would seemingly be to separate or live their own separate lives. This is a reality that you have to be ready for. Separation, however, is not that easy. Marriage ties together the couple in the eyes of the law and of the church. These ties cannot be easily broken. Separation will be even more difficult when the couple has a child who will then be forced to live in a broken family. The law and the church will decide whether to grant the separation. The process is called filing for or seeking annulment. Annulment under civil law is meant to declare a marriage as never having been legally valid. This means that there was some flaws in the marriage agreement from the very start. Remember that the couple signs or agrees to a contract in marriage. The contract is considered a legal instrument. As such, the contract can be declared void or voidable. A void marriage is one that is deemed invalid in all respects. For example, since the law only allows those who are 18 years old and above to get married, marriages of couples who are under the age of 18 are considered void. It is possible for a marriage to be valid at the start to be eventually declared voidable. A voidable marriage occurs when some defect exists in the contractual agreement. Among the reasons that can make a marriage voidable are: number 1, either one of the partners has an incurable disease like AIDS. Number 2, where one has been proven to be a drug addict, alcoholic, homosexual, or lesbian. Number 3, where one or both have committed adultery. While civil law recognizes religious marriages, it does not recognize annulments granted by a religious organization. An annulment that is under civil law is filed in court and is therefore considered a legal matter that only the courts can decide. Marriage under a religion is considered sacred in the same manner that the religion that represents God is considered a divine institution. On the other hand, the government or civil law is considered a human institution. A human institution cannot be superior to a divine institution. Another way of ending a marriage is divorce. In the Philippines, only annulment can declare the marriage not valid. There is no divorce in the Philippines. Under annulment, a marriage is declared not valid when it occurred, and thus it is like saying that no marriage really happened. On the other hand, divorce terminates the validity of marriage on more or less the same grounds as with annulment proceeding. This is like saying that marriage indeed took place but is now being invalidated. Divorce proceedings normally take a shorter period of time compared to annulment. Remember that in annulment proceedings, the objective is to declare the marriage not valid in the first place, while in divorce proceedings, the validity of the marriage is simply terminated. Number 1, in deciding to get married, the only factor that the couple should consider is if they love each other. Number 2, couples should not consider their social and financial differences when deciding to get married. Number 3, once married, your family and your partner's family starts having a connection. Number 4, having a shared philosophy means pursuing common goals under common beliefs. Number 5, couples should always strive for a grand wedding celebration. Number 6, pastors are not authorized to solemnize a marriage. Number 7, annulment declares a marriage as never legally valid. Number 8, if one of the couple is under the age of 18 at the time the couple got married, the marriage is considered void. Number 9, an annulment under civil law also means annulment under one's religion. And number 10, you cannot get a divorce in the Philippines. Compare your answers to the matching answer key of this lesson when you check into your online LMS account. If you got a score of 10 or near that, very good! You learned a lot from the lesson. If you got a score of 5 or below, review the lesson before proceeding to the next one. Do not forget the important points of this lesson. Number 1, marriage is the legitimate union between husband and wife. Number 2, marriages can be religious, civil, tribal. Number 3, when a marriage does not work, any one of the couple can seek annulment. And there you have it! We hope we gave you some insights on marriage and how rules are applied here in the Philippines. Thanks for learning with me today, ka-learners! On the next episode of Solar Learning, we will dive deeper into the topic of marriage, so stay tuned for that.